But let's address some of Donald Trump's domestic concerns now. This alleged birthday letter to the deceased paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, which has been released by US Democrats. For people who might not have had access to the picture of it, George, can you just describe what this is?
So what the Democrats have released is a 238-page kind of compendium of birthday messages to Jeffrey Epstein on the occasion of his 50th birthday in 2003. And it includes a number of luminaries. Peter Mandelson is in there as one of those wishing Jeffrey Epstein happy birthday. There are a lot of lewd messages, and one of those comes from Donald Trump, it seems. Now, they have denied it. The White House has denied it, but there is a signature at the bottom, which appears to be Trump's signature. Again, the White House has denied it, but you see a squiggled outline of a naked woman with Trump's signature kind of mimicking pubic hair, and there's this cryptic message to Epstein, referring to kind of secrets, and it's hard to parse exactly what is being said in that message, but in the context of a kind of booklet containing, sexualized messages, particularly about young women, it's not a good look.
It's not at all, and actually, there is definitely a kind of a sinister sense, isn't there, to the almost wink, wink, nudge, nudge conversation that is imagined between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, which you're completely right to flag up. So what happens now? Because, there's a vehement denial, there always has been, from Donald Trump's camp that the Epstein files ever even existed. He's called them a hoax. He said that this picture, if it did exist, is definitely nothing to do with him. So, what happens? Can he just carry on with that kind of stalemate of a defence?
I think so, yes. It's a religion, isn't it? Being a Trump supporter, and it's unlikely that his supporters are going to abandon him, even if many of them are the ones who have been kind of pushing for the release of the Epstein files all along. He's kind of tried to call off the attack dogs in recent weeks by saying it's a Democrat hoax. It's like the Russia hoax, basically telling them to stop it, but they keep going. And actually, in this booklet, it's not just the squiggle, which we knew about previously because the Wall Street Journal had reported on it. Obviously, Trump had sued the Wall Street Journal over that. But there are new details as well in the book. And there's, for example, a picture of Epstein with a large kind of check where he's saying that he sold a woman, fully depreciated is the quote, to Trump, which again, obviously raises quite a lot of questions.
There is obviously a huge amount of anger on the part of the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein and from their families. What happens to that? Do you get a sense that will actually turn more people within the MAGA movement against Donald Trump than have previously been persuaded to be critical of him?
I think that is probably unlikely at this stage. You've seen Marjorie Taylor Greene as the kind of main champion, has emerged as one of the main champions, and she's obviously very prominent within the MAGA movement. And one wonders, bear in mind, given the appointments Trump made to his cabinet, that she didn't get one, even though arguably she stuck with him after January 6th more than anyone else. Perhaps there's a slight bitterness at being left out of the tent there. But more broadly, Republicans are still terrified of stepping out of line. And so when Trump, you see this in Speaker Mike Johnson, for example. So Mike Johnson originally was kind of campaigning for the release of the files, basically because Trump egged everyone on during the campaign. He was the one who was kind of saying, well, we should do this, we should release the files. And Mike Johnson thought that he was following what Trump wanted. Trump does a U-turn and says it's a Democrat hoax, we mustn't do this, actually it's Clinton you should be looking at, all the rest of it. And Mike Johnson then ends up in this peculiar position where he's now having to defend kind of reasons not to release the files, and then is saying that actually Trump was originally friends with Jeffrey Epstein because he was an FBI informant and he was working to take him down. Then he kind of rose back on that a few days later. So that shows you really the confusion within the Republican Party about how do you respond to this.
Right, and the FBI informant stuff has never been backed up by any other evidence.
No, well, I mean, Mike Johnson has withdrawn it himself, and he was the one who originally raised it. So
Okay.
I think that's been gone already.
It's just spaghetti junction, isn't it, in everybody's heads over this. Peter Mandelson's also popped up. What's put him in the frame particularly now?
Well, within this birthday book, as I was talking about, there are a full 10 pages or so of Mandelson's messages where he talks about Epstein parachuting into his life and parachuting out again and appearing at random. But then there are pictures of Mandelson in a kind of a swimming towel on a tropical holiday, seemingly with Epstein. He talks about Epstein being able to stay at his, quote, glorious homes, and all the people that he meets there. Yum yum is the other quote at the end of that message. So again, it puts him right back into the frame and raises questions about his friendship with someone who was convicted of being a paedophile.
Certainly does, George. Thank you very much indeed. That's George Grylls, the Times' Washington correspondent.
Yeah, it's a bit grim, isn't it? The whole thing is just so sordid. Really horrible.
In 2006, the FBI demanded my testimony for a federal trial, promising justice, but failed again. For 30 years, I've fought not only sex traffickers, but a federal government that has enabled them, while that same government fully ignored teen safety and my many FOIA report requests. After 3 decades of failure, I am suing them for answers. Virginia Giuffre's heroism, speaking her truth, her humility, her bravery, and love ended my 14 years of fear and silence. She is the heart of this fight. Please take a moment of silence for her.
In the year 2000, I was taken to Jeffrey Epstein's island while on a photo shoot in the Caribbean. Who I saw and what I experienced there would change me forever. For months, I had to avoid Jeffrey, but he told me that if I wanted to succeed as a Ford model, he could make it happen. And he was right. He introduced me to Katie Ford and many others in the entertainment business. His grip on the modeling business was undeniable. Not just the Ford family, but Victoria's Secret, Faith Cates, Jean-Luc Brunel, Victoria's Secret. Epstein's reach went to the very top of fashion. He could make a model's career. What I didn't realize then was that once he lured someone like me in, he could also destroy my career if I did not do what he wanted me to do. In New York City, countless young women were abused by him. Everyone in the industry knew, yet he was too powerful to stop. He had friends in all over entertainment and arts, and his value to those friends made him untouchable. But I ask you, why? Who was he to our government that he was allowed to operate openly for decades?
That's the question.
Why was he allowed to sponsor visas for young models, using their immigration status as leverage to abuse them?
How about that? How about it?
And silence them? Epstein was not just a serial predator. He was an international human trafficker.
Yep.
And yet he was protected. I know what it's like to be trafficked to others. I know that the files contain the names of powerful men who have been shielded because of their fame or their fortune. So I stand here today, not just for myself, but for every woman who has been silenced, exploited, and dismissed. And we are not asking for pity. We are demanding accountability. Congress must choose. Will you continue to protect predators, or will you finally protect survivors? Transparency is justice. Release the files, end the secrecy, and stand with us in declaring that no one, no billionaires, no politicians, not world leaders, is above the law. Several of us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list of names. We know the names.
We see you.
Many of us were abused by them.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved. Stay tuned for more details on that. Because history is watching, and so are the women who will come after us.